The film begins as a man named Thomas arrives home and hears the shocking news that his sister has been kidnapped. She sends a letter to their father, stating that if he wants to see her alive, he must come to an island and pay the price for her freedom. Otherwise, the kidnappers will kill her. Thomas decides to save his sister and begins his journey. After traveling by train, he reaches the seashore where he needs to take a boat to the island. Before boarding, he notices that his ticket looks different from the others. Finding it suspicious, he cleverly swaps his ticket with another man's. On board, Thomas observes that a cross mark is placed on the luggage of the man who now has his ticket. The next morning, the boat reaches the island. Thomas sees some people escorting the man with the marked luggage away. The newcomers on the island are welcomed and each is given an empty bottle. Thomas heads to his room and finds a book written by the island's leader, Malcolm. Malcolm considers himself a divine angel and the spiritual father of the island. Many people living there are fugitives who escaped government authorities and took refuge on the island. The next morning, Thomas meets the island's Dr. Andrea, who is Malcolm's daughter. He notices that the man who swapped tickets with him is now being held captive and is in terrible condition. Later, Thomas attends a gathering in the church where all the islanders are present. Malcolm shares the story of how he and his two friends escaped from prison and settled on this island, which eventually flourished under their leadership. Malcolm claims that the island gods not only saved them but also recognized him as an angel. He assures the people that there are no taxes, no currency, and no wars on the island, and everyone is completely free. Inside the church, Thomas sees a mysterious woman that no one else seems to notice. Eventually, Malcolm sees her and notices Thomas already watching her. Meanwhile, Malcolm's followers discover they captured the wrong man and realize that the man they're looking for, Thomas, is hiding among them to rescue his sister. Enraged, they kill the innocent man. Meanwhile, Jeremy, the son of one of Malcolm's friends, is in love with Fionn, the daughter of another friend. They keep their relationship secret. That night, Thomas observes newcomers collecting blood in bottles. He also watches Malcolm enter a secret underground tunnel beneath his house. Later, Thomas sees Jeremy and Fionn together and deduces their relationship. Back in his room, Thomas finds blood-filled bottles outside every door. He pours blood into his own bottle and places it outside. When he enters, he injures his hand with a key, spilling blood on the floor. After he enters in the room, a terrifying woman soon appears and starts licking the blood. Thomas tears a page from Malcolm's book to draw a map of the village. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, Malcolm emerges from the other end of the secret tunnel, monitored by a terrifying servant. The next morning, Jeremy comes to take Thomas to work and thanks him for keeping his relationship secret. Thomas asks about his sister. Jeremy hesitates but reveals the truth after being threatened. A month ago, Malcolm and his two friends, Quinn and Jeremy's father, Frank, kidnapped his sister to extort money from their father. Jeremy explains that the islanders are struggling. Crops are failing, animals have stopped reproducing, and they must buy supplies from outside. That's why Malcolm planned the abduction, to obtain the money needed for survival. Thomas tells Jeremy that if he wants their secret relationship to remain hidden, he must help. Jeremy agrees. Meanwhile, Malcolm gathers all newcomers in the church to identify the man who came to rescue the girl and intends to pay for her release. Memorizing Malcolm's book is a strict rule on the island. Malcolm begins listening to each person recite pages from his book. Before Thomas's turn arrives, someone attacks Malcolm. This attacker is sent by the king, who has become Malcolm's enemy in the battle for control of the island. Thomas saves Malcolm from the attack but gets injured in the process. The attacker is killed, and Malcolm takes Thomas to Andrea for treatment. Grateful, Malcolm promises lifelong loyalty to Thomas for saving his life. Malcolm and his allies intensify their efforts to find the man who came for the girl and obtain the ransom. That night, Thomas's sister Jennifer is brought out before everyone. Malcolm falsely accuses her of being an agent sent by the king and claims her partner is hiding in the village. He threatens to kill her unless the man reveals himself. Though Thomas feels afraid, he stays hidden, rendering Malcolm's plan unsuccessful. The next morning, Jennifer is seen chained while children mock her. Andrea arrives to feed her and drives the children away. Meanwhile, Malcolm and his ally plan a festival for the night, intending to search everyone's homes during the celebration to find the money. During the festival, Thomas breaks into the tunnel beneath Malcolm's house with Jeremy's help. Malcolm and Quinn, while searching the houses, find the map Thomas drew, raising suspicion that he is hiding inside Malcolm's home. Malcolm instructs Frank, who stands guard outside, to search the house and capture Thomas. When Frank arrives, he finds Jeremy there and realizes his son is helping Thomas. He drives Jeremy away. That moment, Malcolm and Quinn reach the spot. Frank enters the tunnel to capture Thomas, while Andrea witnesses everything. Malcolm then rides to the tunnel's other exit, but both ends are now sealed. Thomas jumps into a blood-filled trench inside the tunnel to escape. There, he sees the terrifying woman who previously licked blood. She approaches him, causing fear, and Thomas escapes through the other side. Thomas finds himself in another part of the tunnel and discovers markings related to the island's deity. Meanwhile, Malcolm visits the forest house where he keeps the goddess imprisoned. He asks the goddess if she revealed herself to the boy, warning that he cannot be trusted. The goddess remains silent, but Malcolm is visibly angry. He cuts his hand, offers his blood to her, and pleads for the crops to stop being poisoned. As she drinks the blood, flowers and leaves begin to bloom on the dry branches inside the house. At the same time, Malcolm's servant arrives with Jennifer tied in a large sack and hangs her. Thomas spends the night in the tunnel. The next morning, Andrea visits and gives him clothes to change. She secretly wants to help him. Thomas finds it strange that the daughter of the man trying to kill him offers help. She insists her father cannot be a killer. Thomas reveals the truth. Her father is not a divine angel but a wicked man who has imprisoned his sister. Andrea begins to feel sympathy and takes him to the poisoned fields, assuring him no one will find him there. Crops are ruined, and no one visits this place. Meanwhile, Malcolm visits Frank's house, only to find it abandoned. The friend has taken all belongings and left. Malcolm then rushes to the seashore, where Frank is preparing a boat to leave. He tells Malcolm he wants nothing more to do with these horrors and is leaving with his son Jeremy. Malcolm tries to stop him, saying they built the island together and he should not abandon it. At the same time, Jeremy visits Fion's house where she tells him that she is going to be the mother of his child. Jeremy steps outside to get her something, but just then, Quinn arrives. He has also learned about the pregnancy. He warns Fion that this child will bring her death, but she refuses to listen. When Jeremy returns, he sees that Fion has been killed by her own father. Furious, Jeremy attacks Quinn and injures him. Quinn quickly runs out and tells the villagers that Jeremy is a murderer who killed his daughter and now wants to kill him too. He tries to present himself as a victim. As Jeremy flees, Quinn declares him a criminal who must be purified. The guards respond that only the island's angel Malcolm has the authority to issue such an order, but Quinn claims that he is the true leader and commands the guards to obey him. The guards chase Jeremy, who runs into the poisoned fields and seeks help from Andrea, but the guards arrive soon after and capture him. Andrea tries to stop them and follows behind. Thomas, determined to save Jeremy, also follows them. Jeremy is brought before Quinn, who insists on purifying him immediately. Despite protests, they kill Jeremy in the name of purification. Andrea tries to stop them and Thomas is captured during this time. Soon, Malcolm and Frank arrive, but it is too late. Jeremy is already dead. His father mourns bitterly. Quinn instructs the guards to take Thomas away. Malcolm confronts him, claiming rightful leadership, but Quinn rejects this and publicly undermines Malcolm, calling him a false angel and the cause of all their suffering. To prove Malcolm's leadership, he demands that Thomas be executed in front of everyone. As Malcolm steps forward to kill Thomas, his daughter tries to intervene. Malcolm insists that Thomas must die. Before he acts, a gunshot rings out, fired by Frank, who has returned. He declares the goddess must be destroyed and rushes into the forest. Thomas fights the guards and escapes, fleeing toward the forest. Malcolm and Quinn follow. Near the forest house, Thomas discovers that Malcolm's monstrous servant has killed Frank. Before dying, Frank urges him to burn everything down. Thomas escapes through a large hole into the house. Malcolm and Quinn arrive shortly after. Quinn tries to kill Malcolm's servant, but Malcolm stops him. In anger, Quinn shoots Malcolm in the shoulder and he falls into the tunnel. Believing Malcolm to be dead, he proceeds. Thomas secretly watches as the servant forces blood into the goddess's mouth, causing dry branches to blossom. Thomas also finds his sister tied in a sack and frees her, but the servant attacks him, knocking him unconscious. Quinn arrives and takes Jennifer away, then captures Andrea. When Thomas regains consciousness, he finds himself tied to a grinder machine. Just before the machine crushes him, he manages to break free, though badly injured. He overpowers the servant, ties him up, and throws him into the grinder, killing him. Thomas approaches the goddess. She tells him she has been waiting for him and shows him visions of the cruelty she endured from Malcolm and his allies. She begs him to release her from suffering. Thomas sets her on fire, ending her torment. As she burns, flames spread through the village, destroying everything. Villagers flee toward the boats. Malcolm survives and also begins to escape. Meanwhile, Quinn locks Jennifer and Andrea in the church. He confesses that he discovered the goddess, learned her secrets, and kept her captive. First, they fed her animal blood, but later, human blood was needed to satisfy her. He views her as a machine that exchanges blood for prosperity. He now plans to feed her with their blood. Just as he is about to kill them, Thomas arrives and attacks him. The girls break free using a gun and shoot off their chains. Quinn injures Thomas with a knife, but the girls use their chains to strangle him to death. Badly wounded, Thomas tells his sister and Andrea to flee toward the boat. His sister refuses to leave him behind, but Thomas insists. He reminds her that he promised to save her life, even if it cost his own. Reluctantly, the girls board the boat and leave. Malcolm returns and sees that wherever Thomas's blood has touched the ground, new plants are growing. Thomas smiles and lies down. Suddenly, vines rise from the earth and wrap around him, pulling him into the soil. Malcolm smiles too, realizing that Thomas has become the island's new god. Now, the islanders will never go hungry again. Thanks to Thomas, the land will be rich and prosperous. The film ends here. I hope you liked my video. If you did, please like and share it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We keep bringing such content regularly. Peace.